Hi everybody and welcome to Bramble Ramble. This week I'm talking about something very close to my heart, and that's my 3 top bits of advice for anybody about to start chemo who's had the cancer diagnosis. Having a cancer diagnosis and knowing you have chemo ahead is truly terrifying and daunting, and you'll know that your life is about to change completely and forever. It is truly not all negative. There will honestly be the positives you will take from this experience. I promise, without a doubt. I've been there and I understand. I'm the first to say that at the moment my husband's in remission. So we truly appreciate how lucky we are. But we've learned an awful lot along the way. And we realise that just because you suddenly have a life-changing diagnosis does not mean that the world has stopped and ended. Of course you will need time to process, and of course it's terrifying. There's no other way around it. Your lives are about to change forever. But there's a lot to take hope from, and so I hope that if you can take these 3 top bits of advice I have for you, can help you learn to process and to know your way ahead. So my first top bit of advice is knowledge. To gain knowledge. Knowledge is power. We've learned that all through our lives, and never is it more so than now. Before you go to your doctor's visit, write down every single question that you can possibly have, no matter how big or how small. Ask your support partner to go with you. Always have somebody to go with you. Talk to the person before you go. Ask them to write down questions. They will see things differently to you, and the more questions that are down and the more answers you have, the more knowledge you have. And knowledge gives you power. It gives you the strength of understanding. One of the worst things with anything, and certainly with a cancer diagnosis, is the unknown and this terror about what's going to happen. You've heard things before, but now it's happening to you. And so having the knowledge will take some of that fear away. When you understand what your body has, what it needs to go through, understanding the chemo and how it's going to impact you, take some of that fear away from you. You know what you have to do, and you know you have to fight. One of the first things we were told when we went in to see the doctor was my husband was a very positive person, and definitely we were going to go in and this was going to happen, we were going to get this done. And the doctor had this smile on her face, and I said to her, what is it? What is it? What's making you smile like that? And she said, there are 2 people that come into my office. One is in flight mode and one is in fight mode. At the moment, you're a little bit like an animal in the headlights, caught in the headlights of this fear in your face. What do I do? What do I do? At the moment, for my husband, he was in his fight mode. Guaranteed, during the whole chemo experience, you'll have both of those modes. When they hit, where they hit, who knows? But you will definitely at times have this real determination, a power you never knew you had. You're so much stronger than you ever knew. You'll also have a flight mode where it is truly overwhelming and terrifying. And this is all normal. It's all okay. These are just emotions that you will have. And if you understand what's happening to you and to your body and what's ahead, it makes it easier. So my top bit of advice is arm yourself with knowledge. Number 2 on the list, there are no importance ratings, they're just my 3 top things. Number 2 is support. It seems obvious, but support comes in all different sizes and packages. And support is different for every single person. Some want a big cheer squad, they want them in with them. Others want it private, want it maybe a handful of people maximum. It's okay, you choose whatever's right for you. Your support only works when it's right for you. Doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. Do whatever is right for you. I have to say, from the support, it's really, really important to have the right support. I know we are not alone when you will have people that react in very different ways. Now, one of the first things we realised is by telling somebody that there was cancer, without a doubt, is earth-shattering for those other people, parents, children, siblings. You have to allow that first initial phone call and give them time to digest it. This is difficult because you've already gone through something horrific yourself, so you need the support. But try to say to them, I need to give you this, or ask your support partner to do this for you. I need you to process this. Any questions, if I can, I will answer them. However, from that moment forward, you need positive support. You need really positive people behind you. You need people that have the sense that when you need your time on your own, no questions asked. Some days don't ask, how are you? Understand and read the person. You need those people that can do that. You need those people that don't tell you about, oh, I know so-and-so with cancer. This is completely and utterly irrelevant and helps nobody. Please learn, don't say, I know so-and-so with cancer. Every single cancer is different. Every single chemotherapy is different. It doesn't make any difference to that one person that you are supporting at this time. It helps nobody to know, because this is the one time in your life that you have to put yourself first. You have to do what's right for you. And you will not have the strength particularly to deal with somebody else that you've never met that has a cancer that is something, their side effects are not your side effects, and vice versa. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't do anybody any good. So please, one lesson is don't discuss other people just because you've heard of somebody else that has it. And also everybody's reaction is differently. They'll react differently. So find those people that understand that this is what you're going to need. Understand that you need positivity. You really do. A really good bit of advice I would say was definitely ask for written support. And what we found worked really well is people would write to us, send us messages, do you want to chat? Is it a good day? And that way it allowed us to be able to say, today's a good day. Yeah, call, or we'll call you. And then there's other days when you just don't have the strength. And then they can say, no problem, I'll talk to you when it's good, or let me know when you're up for it. Unquestioning, that's what you need, unquestioning support and loyalty and friendship. There will also be people that are negative, and it's a sad reality that not everybody can handle this kind of news. And for us, and I think for the majority of people during this time, you need to cut the contact. It does you no good, and you do not have the capacity to take on their worries or troubles. And you need to set it out clearly that you just can cope or need positive support. And unfortunately, negativity is not something you can deal with right now. And cut that support. And maybe later on, or maybe if they think about it and change, it can change. But don't be afraid to do this. You need to do what is right for you. The other thing, which is difficult when it's family, is you will inevitably get tears, without a doubt. And this is, without a doubt, understandable. They are devastated, they're worried about you. But there also has to be a time when they stop that. You need to then say, You understand this now. I understand you're devastated, as are we. However, now I need you to be strong for me. What they do when they're not speaking to you or visiting with you is up to them, and they will need and get their support from elsewhere. But you need to make sure that you are only getting the best from people. It's so important that you have people that have your back, that will do whatever you need for them. Whether it's just a telephone call, whether it's a written message, everybody's different. Just make sure it's the right support for you. And this is a one time in your life when you have the absolute okay to say, no, not now. So, second bit of advice is support. You'll need it. Make sure you get the right support. It is out there, and it's out there through so many different sites as well. So you'll never need to be alone. Honestly, there are some wonderful organisations to help you. Many. Please take advice and use them. The third bit of advice is to truly understand the side effects of chemotherapy. I do understand not everybody has chemotherapy. I can only speak from my experience. There's radiotherapy, there's many different things, and there's also many different types of chemotherapy, and people react in all different ways. But it's really important before you start this to understand how your chemotherapy may affect you or will affect you. And it's really important that those people, that your partner or your loved one or anyone who's living with you understands this as well. For us, one of the top things we didn't realise was the first 48 hours after chemotherapy, I couldn't kiss my husband. I had to have a distance, and that was very difficult, and I didn't know that at all. And things like his clothes or anything, if he was unwell, they'd have to be washed separately and away. So there are things like this that's important to truly understand. A really good piece of advice is you will not be able to fight so many things. You have to accept these things. If you can accept the side effects of chemotherapy, the easier it will be for you. If you fight them, as my husband tried, it is just a long, painful battle, which he didn't win. And so I think it's so important to truly understand what's ahead. Every single person's different. Some people lose their hair, some don't. My husband did. He didn't care. For you, it may be different. I would have been very distraught, although look today. But those are things you also have the power that you can choose. If you start losing your hair, and you may be devastated, you may decide to just wear a hat, wait, or you may choose to shave your head. Do what suits you. Doesn't matter what anybody else does. Not at all. You do what suits you. You will inevitably, most people will really suffer from fatigue. And this is nothing, you cannot fight this at all. So it's a case of acceptance. My husband, when we started out, was walking 5 miles a day. He'd been doing it for years. And as the chemo progressed, it reduced until every step of the way was painful. And every muscle, everything he'd had just went, absolutely went. And he fought that for a long time. And he caused himself extra pain by pushing himself too far. When his muscles were screaming it for him to stop, he then caused himself to have serious muscle ache and pain. And if he'd reduced that, as he'd been advised to, he may have saved himself some unnecessary pain. So it's really important to understand the side effects and to never worry about questioning to say, is this okay? Is this normal? Because your body, it reacts in such different ways, and it can be truly terrifying. But what's also very important is, if you think it doesn't feel right, pick up a telephone, make sure you're okay. A hospital is there to help you, a doctor is there to help you, and they know whether this is a side effect and there's nothing you can do, or you need help, or often there can be tablets to take if you're suffering from nausea. There can be things to help. So understanding, having this good line of communication with your doctor or nurses, truly understanding that sometimes you need to accept, and other times you can question and say, is this okay? Is this normal? Or can you help me? Never be afraid to ask for help. It doesn't matter how big or how small. These people are professionals. They're there to help you. You have friends and family that will want to help you. So never be afraid to ask. And by doing my channel, I'm going to be talking about many different things that have affected us through the years. And I want people to be able to reach out. I'm not a doctor, I'm not medically trained. I can only tell you things that I hadn't expected to happen, or things I wish I'd been better prepared for. So any questions, any help I could give, I would so happily help anybody and make their journey a little less bumpy. I truly understand what it feels like to have your world turned upside down. And I feel that if I'd had a better understanding from the word go, it would have made things a little bit easier for us. It would have made us truly understand that there's certain things you can't fight, certain things you can, certain things you can't change, others you can. But it is so important to understand as much as possible that knowledge, and surround yourself with the best support you absolutely can. It is so crucial. They don't need to be all in your home. They can be on the computer. They can be a phone call away, a written message. That can be all you need. And just please remember, you're never alone. There's also always somebody there that will help you, that will want to help you. So I hope that this video will find somebody and maybe help them forward. And I don't know what my next topic will be on, but there will be many more to be sure. So I wish you a wonderful day, and thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.